Hello and welcome back to Stretford Paddock. My name is Casey and this is your news outside Old Trafford. It's a cold morning here in Manchester, very brisk as Skaman behind the camera has said to me, which I think is an absolute understatement. So if you're indoors, grab a hot drink, enjoy the warmth that you are afforded, and let's get into some news. Now, the major talking point today, and probably for most news outlets, is Mauricio Pochettino's appearance on Monday Night Football. Now, obviously, recently, Roy Keane, after the Arsenal match, said that he'd like to see, or he thinks Mauricio Pochettino is favourite for the United job, and many United fans have constantly linked him in the sort of Ollie out campaign. I mean, personally, I don't really see why we need to get rid of Solskjaer after one game. I mean, I feel like everyone was up in celebration when he won 5-0, and obviously losing 1-0 to Arsenal is not a great result, but at the same time there were issues more with the team that played on the field than what I think Solskjaer set up with. But we're going to go into some of the comments he made. Pochettino seemed to be hinting very strongly that he wanted the United role. Said that De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the league for me. There are a few goalkeepers in the world who can give you points, and he is one of them. I mean, having managed Hugo Lloris during his early Tottenham time, when the man would go absolutely out of nowhere to let a goal in, I can understand why he would want De Gea. But yeah, but the big one that kind of tipped people off was Mauricio Pochettino said, "I'm always ready to be involved in the game," and he insists he is ready to return to football and is looking forward. Now, he's been out of work for a year, so you're not telling me in a year no one has come to Mauricio Pochettino and gone, "Do you want a job?" I mean, you've considered one of the best talents in management. Do you want a job? I feel like there's only one job I would say he probably would never go to. I think he said he's never going to manage Arsenal because of obviously his links with Tottenham, and he'd never manage Barcelona, which was big news because a lot of fans were saying, a lot of football fans were saying, why has he not gone for the Barcelona job? Why have Barcelona not continued Pochettino if he's this great manager? And that's probably because Pochettino has said on many occasions he would never manage Barcelona in a million years. He's an Espanyol man at heart. He's always been Espanyol runs in his veins, both as a player and a manager, and he said he'd never betray his former club like that by managing their city rivals. But yeah, he seemed to be a bit teasing it because obviously Sky were pushing him on it. They were kind of trying to imply it, and it didn't seem very. It seemed very coincidental that Mauricio Pochettino was on it the day after a very big game in terms of this campaign that Ollie has gone on this season in the league. In terms of that, I don't think there's anything in it at this point. I feel like Mauricio Pochettino is probably the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if he is sacked, but I don't feel like the club are looking to sack him at this point. As I said, he's had 2 massive results in the Champions League, which is, I feel like, the competition that United want to do well in. In terms of the league, I feel like it's early doors. He could easily back up that form. As I said against Arsenal, it was more the players on the pitch that made the mistakes rather than the formation. Some people are saying, oh, why did he play Fred and Scott McTominay? I feel like Fred's positioning was what caused much of the problems on that game. I feel like he didn't know where he wanted to stand. He was trying to out-press 2 very good pressing midfielders, and I know I'm praising Mohamed El Neni. I never thought I'd do that, but him and Partey played very well in pressing United. I think Fred tried to counter-press them, and it completely ruined the team's shape. Moving on to more news and talking again about that striker that Mauricio Pochettino says is the best young striker in the world, and that is Mason Greenwood, is apparently back in contention to be called up to Gareth Southgate's England squad. He obviously earlier on this year or this season was involved in a debacle around the COVID-19 restrictions. Him and Phil Foden were sent home after having to go round to their Icelandic hotel room, which the coverage of was not the best, I feel like. And I feel like Southgate could have done more to protect the 2 young players. They were kind of demonised. They were seen as stupid, young. They were sort of scapegoated when other players during the actual pandemic and in full lockdown in England were doing things that were considered much worse than what those two players were doing. But apparently he's now back in contention. The Three Lions are set to face Republic of Ireland in a friendly, and then Belgium and Iceland in the Nations League. Iceland popping up once again there. One historically important game with Republic of Ireland, obviously that whole we are British, we fight inside Britain and Republic of Ireland, and then 2 Nations League games. And Belgium, I feel like, is the hardest of the 3, even though Iceland have knocked us out in a league before, but we're not going to remember that because that was actually painful to watch. Harry Kane on corners, tactical masterclass. But yeah, Greenwood got off the mark on the Champions League recently. He got his first ever Champions League goal against RB Leipzig, and he's also got a goal against Luton early on in the season, so he's doing okay. He's trying to find his way back into the team. Obviously he's now behind, if we're playing 2 strikers, he's probably behind Marcus and Martial. Cavani's now come in, and it just seems to be where he'll fit in. If we go back to the wing system, he'll probably have more of a place. And now onto a story that was broke last night, and that is involving Ryan Giggs. According to the BBC, Ryan Giggs was arrested for an alleged assault. The Football Association of Wales were made aware of the alleged incident involving the national team manager, and they cancelled a press conference that was due to be scheduled this morning. However, Simon Stone has come out in the last few hours and said that Ryan Giggs' representative has said that Mr. Giggs denies all allegations of assault made against him. He is cooperating with the police and will continue to assist them with their ongoing investigations. So we're yet to see where that goes. At the moment, there is no clear idea of what happened, and he denies all charges made against him. So we'll have to see what happens. But make sure you look at reputable sources when looking at that information, because there are a lot of people who will probably try and sensationalise the event. So stick with your BBCs and stuff like that. Anyway, on that sort of dour note, this has been Paper Talk, and I'm Casey, and I'll see you next time.